If you've taken any multiple choice tests, this is probably a situation that you've run into, and when you do, it's kind of the nightmare scenario. So imagine you're doing this test, and for the first question you get B, and the second question you get B, and the third question you get B, and then suddenly in 4 you want to put B, but you're afraid because if you put B, then it's 4 B's in a row, and that doesn't seem like it's possible. And here's the thing, on the SAT, I suppose it is possible to have 4 B's in a row, but it's very unlikely. So it's much more likely if you get 4 B's in a row that you've made a mistake. But here is the thing you don't want to do. This is something that students might do and actually can compound their error. So let's say you're going through these questions and you say, I can't put B again, so let me see, maybe D is the answer, right? So you put D. And imagine for a second if the answers to these questions were B, A, B, B. So this is an entirely reasonable set of answers, B, A, B, B. You don't have 4 in a row, but you have 3 out of 4. Now that you've made your decision on 4 to move away from B and towards D because you didn't want to get 3 in a row, what you've actually done is instead of getting 1 wrong, you've gotten 2 wrong. And for no other reason than because you're following a pattern. You're obeying some sort of preconceived notion about what the answers are going to be. If instead you had put B, as you thought it would be, sure, it's probably the case that one of these is not B, but at least you're only to get a -1 instead of getting a -2. So what's the lesson? The lesson is simple. Never make a decision on a question based on what you've gotten before it, right? Or after it. Each question should be treated as independently as you can. So on number 4, you got to put B. But what you should then do when and if you have time, go back to questions 1 through 3 and recheck those. Because yeah, it's probably likely that you made a mistake somewhere in those first 4 questions, but don't make the decision on 4 based on that, because you might actually walk into another mistake, another error. Whereas, worst case scenario, you get -1 if you decide to change your answer to 4 based on this, so you've gotten 2 wrong for really no reason, kind of an unforced error. So don't worry too much about getting 4 B's in a row, or, if you get 5 C's in a row. Sure, there's probably some issue, probably made a mistake somewhere, but treat each question independently, go back, recheck the questions that you did, and you'll probably find 1 or 2 that you can change. But again, treat each question independently, make the decision based on what the question says and your evaluation of the question itself, and no other factors should come into play. To learn more about Reason Prep's SAT, SAT subject test, and ACT video courses, go to reasonprep.com/enroll. And you can find the link in the description below the video.